All right, guys, I probably won't be watching much of the comments. Going to be paying attention to the meeting. So, Kirby City Hall meeting. We're going to be having some fun. We got a couple guests.
City Council regular meeting Thursday, April 11th, 2024 begins at 7:05 p.m. Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the invocation of pledge of allegiance. The invocation will be provided by Mr. Rich. Please step to the podium.
If this works, I guess. Father, we thank you for this evening. We give you praise, honor, and glory for it. And Father, we thank you that we can make a phone call to you at any time via Jeremiah 33:3. You said to call me, and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you do not know. And so, Father, we're ringing your phone right now and asking you to give us your wisdom in this meeting for tonight, that each one of these council members will be able to have the answers they need for all of the petitions that this city is bringing, that the city members are bringing to this council. Father, we give you praise, honor, and glory for giving those answers, that we may better with the city of Kirby. And we give you praise praise, honor, and glory for doing that. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mission statement, the city of Kirby is dedicated to delivering excellent municipal services to our community in a fiscally responsible manner. Please call roll.
Councilmember Garza.
Here.
Councilmember Dick.
Here.
Councilmember Martin.
Here.
Councilmember Molina.
Here.
Councilmember Lozano. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis. Here. Mayor Vernon.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Next, we have citizen participation. First, we have David Barbosa. Can you step up to the podium?
Sure. Good evening, Council, City Manager. My name is David Barbosa. I live at 2402 Rosewood. I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm running for City Council. I will be hosting a meet and greet on April the 13th, 2024 at El Manitos Taco Dorados Food Truck at 5738 FM 78 from 5 to 8 p.m. All candidates are welcome. Bring your signs, bring your lunches. We will have live music, bouncing castle for kids, and I hope to see you all there. And don't forget that same day, the senior center is having a benefit play and raffle on April the 13th. So yes, come on and support it.
Thank you. Next, we have Dr. Susan Street. Please step up to the podium.
Good evening, Council. My name is Susan Street. Live at 5222 Coral Mist. Transparency, accountability, integrity. I believe we need a reminder of some history regarding how the city has been led over the past year or so. A year ago, the majority of the council failed to renew the contract of a city manager favored by several members of our current council. Did that city manager have any prior city management experience? No. I do know that we paid to have her trained and certified. While some say she was nice, what exactly did she accomplish to ensure that the many problems we have today wouldn't happen? I know that she did not fill the finance director position before leaving, and that has caused a multitude of issues with our city. But yet, she was favored by many of our current council. Why did these council members fight against her leave? Integrity. Later, after that, the city manager left, 2 staff members were appointed as interim city managers by the council. While they had some managerial experience, they didn't have the city manager education or experience to do the job. We still had no finance director, but did have some assistance from agency temps, but they were overwhelmed by the work not being done for the previous 9 months. Then there was the May 23 election where new council members were added and a new mayor as well. By June 8 meeting, without a search committee, a new applicant was introduced to the new council, Brian Rowland. I was not in the executive session, but when council came out, a motion was made to offer him the position. I was informed that there were some issues and that proper hiring procedures were not followed. For instance, there's no application on file, only a cover letter and resume. No background check or drug test was done, and there were multiple changes to his contract after the initial vote. Not all changes were approved by council in an open meeting. I have copies of the contracts through an open records request. Transparency and integrity. The unapproved changes included allowing him to be paid mileage in addition to having an approved car allowance of $500. That is not standard government practice. He only had to inform the mayor if he was going to be absent instead of council, and he could take 10 days of PTO within the first 6 months of the 20 days he was given, when council had only approved 5 additional days. The rest of our city employees get 10 days of PTO. He was also allowed somewhat flexible hours to not be at City Hall. So who signed his contract not approved by council? Accountability. During his tenure with the city, he has often been absent during working hours and was unavailable for staff, council, and citizens citizens. In an open meeting, the mayor defended his absences because he worked until midnight sometimes. Such dedication can be admirable, but not if he is not available when new and untrained staff need him for questions or guidance. The complaints that were brought by several of the staff attest to this issue. Again, I have copies through open records. Accountability. I have other questions. Besides the formal complaints by staff, how often did the staff complain to the mayor about it? Who signed off on his timesheet? All employees fill one out. Did all the time he was not there for the employees get considered? Who signed his paycheck? Did the council approve his continued part-time work as a financial consultant? Was that time spent away from City Hall considered when signing his timesheet? Did he hire the qualified personnel we needed? Did he adequately assist in last year's budget preparation? Did he address the water department billing issues that started last summer? What did he accomplish while he was here? Accountability. Brian Rowland was a mayor in a different form of government from what we have in Kirby. His was mayor council, where the mayor is in charge and has more power to control what goes on, including hiring and firing, or telling employees what to do. Our form of government is council, city manager, where the city manager is the only person who can deal directly with employees, hire and fire, etc. When Rowland came 1 month after our new mayor took over her responsibilities, I believe he influenced her to take on more than was within the scope of our charter and ordinances. This behavior has continued since Rowland left. Integrity. And I'm still wondering how much it costs the city. I've made requests for that information, but I'm still waiting. Our lawyers have sent that request to the Attorney General to see what they can hide from we the people, and have another 45 days to respond. I will wait. Transparency. I know that his contract called for 4 months' salary as severance, but they were still negotiating a settlement. What's the settlement? He signed the contract and agreed to that amount, but this council is apparently concerned that he will sue for more. Why? He didn't seem to make any great strides in supporting the needs of our city. We have had 2 other temporary interim city managers provided by agencies. One left after an executive session with no explanation by council.
Thank you. Next, we have Roger Holmes. Please step up to the podium.
My name is Roger Roman, 4511 Hennepin. I too am going to expand upon some of the past history. Council is considering our current interim city manager and offered a contract at the last meeting. Why didn't the previous interim city manager want to stay? Was the atmosphere so negative that he couldn't stand it? Why would that be? Was there interference from council in his running of the city? There were no agenda items regarding instructions to the city manager, and only the council can instruct the city manager. The mayor does not have the authority to instruct without direction from the rest of council. This has been mentioned before. Our charter and ordinances specifically state the powers of the mayor and council. The only thing the mayor can do that has more weight than any other council member is to run the meeting, and some contractual obligations, and add items to the meeting agenda without approval. Otherwise, the mayor has no more power than any one of the other council members. No one person on council can dictate or instruct any city employee to do anything. If they do, they are violating the charter and our ordinances. I hope you're all listening to that. I'm hearing things coming out of City Hall that make me think our mayor and possibly other council members may have overstepped their authority. Is that why we're having personal issues? We need competent staff and an atmosphere conducive to getting the work done, not a toxic work environment. Council, including the mayor, needs to stay in their lane, stop interfering, and let a qualified city manager do the job. Can council please do that? In addition to these comments here, I just want to express a note of gratitude to our new city manager. It's refreshing what I've seen on this last agenda, the openness, the professionalism. I give my vote of confidence. I'm hoping provides direction, care, guidance, but allow him to do his job so he can properly train the individuals under his purview. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Matthew Rankin. Please step up to the podium.
All right, we're gonna have a little fun here today. There's some things you need to know about your chief. Right now, she's under federal and state investigation for RICO, conspiracy to commit civil crimes.
I'm sorry, sir. One moment.
Sure.
Can you pause it, Ms. Caitlin?
Are you
What is your address?
1014 Luxor?
Kirby, San Antonio?
Oh, no, Coach Chris.
Oh, thank you.
So I was not alleging these crimes myself. I'm not a witness to any of them, but I know she's under investigation for federal RICO, federal conspiracy to commit civil rights violations. State level, we're talking official oppression, violation of the Public Meetings Act and Records Act. You guys might not know, but she's been providing information from your executive meetings to members of the public. And also providing government records that were not to be released to members of the public. A couple of you might know how that happened. I think you pretty obviously know what this involves, all the names stuff, the stuff that's happening here. So she's filed false affidavits against Jack Miller. Affidavits she was refused to turn over to the DA. I don't know what she's told you guys, but she never went to Austin for legal warrants. She went to a night shift magistrate and got falsified affidavits that were defective on their face without critical information, and just pretty much got a tech judge to sign off on him to raid his house. So what she's done is criminal, and most likely. I'd say it's time, you're not signing the city manager, put up a job posting for chief of police, because obviously you can't have much as a convicted felon. You can't have a chief of police as a convicted felon, obviously. When Jack Miller brought in an airsoft gun in here to prove to you how bad your security was, the chief, 2 officers, a detective, and I think a lawyer all touched the gun that wasn't a gun and acknowledged it's an airsoft gun. He was charged with bringing a firearm in here and unlawful carry. So the detective that signed off on that affidavit and the chief that told him to committed felony perjury when they did so. Same thing with the incident down at Landis Drive. The officer who responded, the officer who went to Jack's house, and the chief, all he had was pepper spray. And that's all that was alleged on the day of the event. And he's been charged with felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So the detective and the chief who ordered it, who signed that affidavit saying that Jack Miller pointed a deadly weapon at a certain somebody, committed felony perjury, along with a bunch of other crimes. And since they all did this together, that's where we get RICO, and we get felony conspiracy definition crimes. Also, we've got witness intimidation. Jack Miller was allegedly assaulted out there on Landis Drive by somebody who is recorded by, the chief has been recorded saying is her personal friend. And the chief attempted to have Jack Miller drop the charges against her. Called him in for a special meeting for an hour here at the police department. And tried to convince him it was his own fault that everything happened, and that she's a good person, that's her personal friend, never does anything like this, and couldn't please drop the charges. And when Jack didn't, the chief said, well, I guess I'll just have to start writing everybody tickets for assault and stuff like that. So now you get witness intimidation and more RICO. The chief pretty much, what's the allegation here? The raid on Jack's house was very likely to let her get a hold of all this evidence that Jack has of her illegally giving out information from your private executive sessions and government records. So, about a minute. I thank you for not interrupting me. I was planning on coming here months ago over your decorum rules when you were telling everybody they couldn't talk, couldn't use names. So it seems those have changed. I'm just gonna put one little last test here. Mayor Janisha. Cool, we can say your name. All right, that's all I got. Y'all have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Nancy Penny. If you please step forward to the podium.
Yes, Nancy Penny, of course, y'all know who I am, 4924 Ackerman Road. I just wanted to read to you what it says, what Denton, Navarro, Rodriguez, Bernal, Santi, and Zach said. So they said, and I think y'all should have it, I don't know if y'all have it, but I can read it to y'all. It says, our firm currently serves as city attorney for the city of Kirby, Texas. In the capacity, we have been asked to review public records associated with the street within Kirby known as Landis Drive. In our understanding, that is a property located at 2924 Ackerman Road and adjoining Landis Drive. On one side of the property has an ongoing dispute with another property owner on Landis Drive. The dispute centers around whether the property at 2924 Ackerman Road has a right of access onto Landis Drive and a right to tie into the sewer lines. The dispute centers around whether the property, so the dispute centers around whether the property at 2924 Ackerman Road has a right of access onto Landis Drive and the right to tie into the sewer line that runs down Landis Drive. The reason such dispute exists appears to be threefold. Is Landis Drive a private or public road? What properties have right to access the road if it's a private? And what properties have right to tie into the sewer line that runs down Landis? Our determination is based solely upon records filed within the real property records of Clare County and our consultation with the city engineer firm, Bain Medina Bay. Our opinion is intended to advise our clients that the city of Kirby in no way should this be considered an opinion on the respective rights of the property owners, but rather it is intended to advise the parties the position that will be assumed by the city of Kirby going forward. Based upon our inspection and the available real property, we have advised our clients to proceed in the action under the following assumptions regarding Landis Drive and its adjoining properties. Landis Drive was established as a private street, The right of ingress and egress on Landis Drive was conveyed onto all adjoining property. 2924 Ackerman Road is a property that adjoins Landis Drive. 2924 Ackerman Road has a right of ingress and egress into Landis Drive. The property owners along the north side Landis Drive were conveyed the right to lay sewer lines within 15-foot strip that is within the original reserved 50-foot access easement. So 2924 Ackerman Road is a property that adjoins Landis Drive on the north side. 2924 Ackerman Road has a right to access the sewer line along Landis Drive. We do not opine as to whether the grant of rights to access sewer is the right to tie into the line that is already in place or merely the right to lay one's owner's sewer line and connect to the main on Ackerman. The grant in question is access to private 50-foot utility easement. The city will not take any action against 2924 Ackerman Road regarding the sewer connection, allowing that to be determined between private property owners. The connection was inspected and approved in accordance with the appropriate building code at the time of installation. We have met with Cardona regarding our legal opinion. Some pending criminal matters that have come from the ongoing dispute will be reviewed for further consideration and action that may be merited within the discretion of the should the parties proceed with any private property dispute on and obtain the judgment that is contrary to the position assumed by the city of Kirby, the city will abide by the final judgment obtained accordingly. So then you have to wait for what the lawyers say. But as y'all know, what is right, I don't understand what is so hard for city of Kirby or y'all to go by, like, what is right and what is wrong. So why is it so hard for Kirby to do that? And as you know, today, the chief of police,
Thank you. Next, we have Amanda Lori. Please step up to the podium. Bird? Bird? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Bird. Okay, Amanda Bird.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody, hello back there.
State
My-
your address, please.
Oh, yes, 4530 Day Gordon, I believe. I actually am visiting. I patronize, the city of Kirby. I pay taxes here with my business, and I also work here occasionally too. Hi. Well, the reason I'm here today, the reason I'm speaking is because some of you may actually recognize me. I was on the steps of City Hall today, earlier, maybe around noon. And what I was doing is I was doing something that's very fundamental to the democracy of our country, the First Amendment. And I was standing there and I'm holding a sign. I know that elections are coming up, and I held up the sign, and it doesn't matter what the sign says, because we have that right, but it said change is needed, right? So I was approached by a few different people. I talked to a couple of people, and I was accosted by a couple of police officers. And now let's rewind a little bit. The reason that I am bringing this up and doing this in the first place is because there's been a lot of rumors that you guys were, not very respectful of people's First Amendment rights here. So I wanted to see it for myself to see if it was something that was true. And so I wanted to do something that was extremely basic, fundamental, that, most people who, you guys should all have sworn an oath to defend and protect the Constitution. And just as a reminder, the fundamental principles, they include freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to peaceably assemble, and the right to petition the government for redress of grievances. So we can, say, it's our outlet basically to say to you folks when we have an issue. And that was tested today, and unfortunately, you guys failed quite miserably. I hate to say it. I was there for a while. We had somebody who called the police on me. We had somebody, everybody I spoke to was very friendly, but we had someone called the police, and someone's here. We had someone approach me, he's also here. And then they called the cops. There were 2 police officers who came and approached me, and they threatened me, and they said that I had to leave, otherwise they're going to arrest me. Now, these 2 police officers are Officer Lee and Officer McCartney. I think her name is McCartney. Both of them are detrimental to you guys, and they're going to cost you guys a lot of money. It's not the first time that these officers have had problems, and I just want to give you guys warning ahead of time and let you know that that's what's going on in your city. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Todd Ferguson. Will you please step up to the podium? Todd Ferguson. Next, we have Jack Miller, but he's not here. Next, we have Ms. Boyd. Please step up to the podium.
Hi, my name is Miss Boyd. I reside at 3634 Kirby Drive. I've been a resident of Kirby for over 63 years. First thing, second request. I know Dr. Rowland, y'all did a bunch of stuff, there was no background check, and some of y'all were real adamant about doing background checks. Pick and choose. Can't pick and choose. And it's been going on for a while on certain things. And I would like how much lawyer fees, and I think it should be put someone should be reading it for every citizen to see it. We shouldn't have to ask. That is our money. Our money. A taxpayer's money. That people that own their homes. That is money that is going out that shouldn't have. Okay? Y'all were saying about hiring another company to do a new report on the streets. I would say just pick it, go from 1 to 10 and add numbers. Why pay more money to have, the streets haven't been done? If anything, they've gotten worse, not better. So why pay for a street report? We already have them done. Bulk pickup, residents should be given more than 5 cubic yards, because last year, without me bringing it up, people were not able to get a lot of their stuff out, not enough time. Plus, we've had freezes, because residents should be allowed to get, if y'all would do, where we could take it up to Public Works. I had suggested a few years ago that they said they didn't have enough people to do that. You could have, I offered to go and sit up there and check people. I won't now for reasons that, and some people do it. But that would be one way. Or just do it on Saturday and council people go sit up there and check addresses. That would give people, and I even was going to offer senior citizens to use my truck to go and pick up their stuff. These were things I was going to do personally, not through the city, to help the citizens. The hazardous material pay, etc. When is that scheduled? It's usually the 1st of March. If there was a flyer put out, I never saw it, and I am adamant about checking this thing out here. I never saw anything. One neighbor said Kirby's on a 1 to 5 year plan. You gotta complain for 5 years, and then maybe between 5 to 10 years, it may get done. And I have to agree on some of that, because there was a problem I was having in an alleyway, several of its neighbors, and one of the neighbors, I kept telling him I had people, I had Public Works come out there, I had people. And finally he got mad and he called the news. They came out, the news did a report, and the next week, the city hired someone. But you shouldn't have to do this. If that's what it takes, then I would suggest everybody call the news to get what they need done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did we skip a name there?
Okay. Next, we have number 6,
Did we
consent
skip
agenda
a name,
items.
ma'am?
I'm sorry?
Did we skip a name? Henry?
No. It's not a Henry on here.
Oh, may I speak in words now?
No, sir. Next, we have 6, consent agenda items. A, the consent agenda is the consent agenda is considered routine matters and can be enacted by the council with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless they are removed from the consent agenda upon the request of the mayor or a council member. This is actually, okay, so number 6 is actually supposed to be for the regular meeting minutes. All right, so consideration and action on, Mr. Norfolk, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So since this was written wrong, we still can go ahead with, consideration and action on A and B, correct? I just want to make sure.
Item 9, A and B.
6 A and B.
With regard to how were they,
This should be consideration and action on meeting minutes.
okay. So
So when it says regular minutes, what's I'm sorry, what is it incorrect or not?
No, the regular meeting minutes, I'm just saying on 6, it says consent agenda items. That's not what we're about to discuss for A and B. A and B is if they agree about the meeting minutes.
Yeah, that's usually consent agenda items and they pull
Is
it
it
out.
normally that, was not written, is it normally written that way?
Yes.
Yes, it's correct.
Is-
We've never written it.
That's what I'm saying, it's never been written this way, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to
Yeah,
go.
It's the same effect, it's the same thing in a sense.
Okay, I just wanna make sure, because it doesn't read, okay.
It reads the way it reads in other cities. A consent agenda means that it can be adopted in one motion, or a council member can pull it off during the discussion. So the freedom to pull off an item is still there for council, or if it's acceptable to the council, you can make a motion with one motion, accepting all the consent agenda. So it's written for that.
Okay, and again, everyone, I did not get to go over this, so I don't know, so what's on here, I don't have anything to do with this agenda. So, go ahead.
Yeah, Mayor, can I pull this off? I guess that's how it's supposed to work. Yeah, so, the only thing I wanted to fix on these minutes is, right here, it's the motion by the council is on, stated by Councilmember Barton to rescind. And, I believe she had said this last time about rescinding. It's, changes the meaning of the minutes, I just don't want it to.
On, we're talking
I'm
about,
sorry,
6A,
it
6A.
it was on I, like the third one down.
No, I'm talking about March 14th or the 20th.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's on the,
14th.
oh, sorry, March 14th, that's
March
right.
14th, okay.
It's I, it's like the third, because remember we said they're gonna do improvements for streets, it got voted down, they're gonna do CDG parks, it got voted in, but then, it had to be rescinded because there was only a couple parks. So I just wanted to make sure that it's RESCIND, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, I updated them, I just didn't put the right copy.
Got it, okay, that's fine. Just
So
wanted to
we'll
make
bring
sure.
that back to make sure it's.
Or you
Can we just say that?
You can approve it as amended.
Okay, yes, so can I make a motion to approve that as amended? I'm sorry, to approve the minutes for March 14th as amended with rescind? Instead of rescind?
Well, there's a motion on it, so is it, nobody's, it died? Okay, this one, okay, go ahead.
On item, it's just a clerical thing. On 9, 8, we have a vote of 80 nays, and it says motion passes 7-0. So it's just the clerical state through, but I think it's good.
Oh, yeah, there is cross date. Yes, 9A, you're right, I'm saying that. Right, it says 7-0. It should be,
Five, two.
So as long as it's addressed and adopted now, so everything's good?
yes. Now, if we do this, if y'all want, because I know normally we like to see it come back so we can actually see it. And if y'all don't want to do that anymore, then just make sure that council gets a copy so we know that it actually was updated. So you want to make your motion to.
Yeah. Mayor, I make a motion to accept the minutes, the date was March 14, 2023. 2024.
Was it no need,
Amending 9, you said, what is it, 9?
Yeah. 9, 8.
All right. 9A, and the, if you want that.
Yeah, 9A and, what was it?
Change 9A and I.
and you referenced the change in the.
Yes, the motion, passes 5-2.
Did you want? Nine. Okay. So we have a motion on the floor to accept the meeting minutes for March 14th with the changes of 9A for 5 to reflect 5-2 votes. First by Councilman Martin, second by Councilman.
Well, you can consider the other change too, because it's the same minutes. So they'll just be amendments, those two changes to the minutes.
When I,
9I, that's what I'm saying, but he didn't say that,
Yes.
that's why. I
right,
didn't
he said that.
Yes, he didn't make the second, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I make a
Let's do it,
motion.
resend it and then restart over, please.
Yeah, I make a motion to rescind the minutes, March 14th, 2024. Two, I make a motion to accept the change on 9I, is rescind, and 9A, motion passes 5-2.
Second. So we have a motion to accept the meeting minutes March 14th, 2024, amending 9I to reflect rescind and 9A to reflect 5-2 vote. First by Councilmember Martin, second by Mayor Pro Tem Amadaka. Please call roll.
Councilmember Hicks,
Yes.
Councilmember Garza,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis,
Yes.
Mayor Gurke,
Yes. Okay. All right, moving on to regular meeting minutes B, March 28th, 2024.
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to pull this off so we can discuss on O on this one. It says motion made by member Martin, seconded by member Martin. But I don't know who seconded it, right? This wasn't, I know what we voted. Since I don't know who did it, we might have to come back.
You said
Yeah,
it's the first or the second?
it's the first one.
So that we can come back, for sure. So on March 28th, did you get that one, Ms. Caitlin? Okay, so that will come back. Okay. All right. Next we have 7, presentation. There's nothing there. We were supposed to have beautification recycle committee, but that's been taken off. Next we have, so we're going to go 8, interim city manager reports, 8, discussion and update fire department.
Who's there, Nicholas? If you know who it is. Yep. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council, citizens of Kirby. The March fire update. During the month of March, there was no permitted on the ambulance for 17 days. This is due to remaining 1 permitted open position. 6 of the 17 days was due to a call off. During the month, or towards the end of March, we had a firefighter that gave us 2 weeks' notice after being here for 2 years. Both A and B shifts helped either stuffed eggs for Easter or helped hide eggs for the Easter egg hunt. We did install 1 smoke detector.
There were 99 EMS responses in the month of March, 54 transports to area hospitals. The average response time was 5.51 minutes. This is measured in 1/100 of a second. Out of the 99 EMS responses, that is 86.09% of our call volume. 16 fire responses, and that's 13.91% of our call volume. That's the end of the report for the fire department.
Anybody have any questions? Oh, Chief Hilburn, I did speak to, Bear 911, and they were telling me that they visited and, that you guys are gonna be a whole dispatch system in the fire station. They said they met with Chris.
Chris is the dispatch supervisor, and dispatch is under PD, not fire.
Oh, okay. Because they mentioned your name, okay, so never mind. Go ahead.
And I have one more question for Chief. I've been meaning to ask this for a year or better. With this construction of Macklin Road, how much, longer is your response time than previously? You know that offhand?
Not offhand, it's just a few minutes, depending on whether we're going to Lehman, Conackey, Harris.
I was just curious because I know it's made a difference, but
Yes.
how much is it, I think?
Thank you. Next, we have 8B, discussion and update finance department water utility updates.
Mayor and council members, we sent a report out to the council for the agenda, but since then, some additional information came to light, and it kind of tied in with some of the questions the council has shared, so we added it to the updated report that's in your packet. One of the questions was asked by the accountant, that when the consultants that when they came on board, they came on board in December 2023 by, they were hired by our prior city manager to ready the city's financial records with a pending external audit, which generally starts in December of each year. When they arrived, the financial department was, according to them, non-existent, and in basic need of improving the infrastructure. As council may recall, the first two consultants that came on board, I believe in October, November, left at a short period of time because things were excessively difficult to reconcile. So for the time that they've been here, since by December, they worked on putting together the GMRS report, the ARPA report, workers' compensation, the bank account reconciliation, all of that, which is what is required to get us ready for the audit. The finance director mentioned today, tomorrow, that we shall get things ready in anticipation of the auditors coming next week. Vacant positions. Right now, in fact, as of today's speaker, we started talking to folks for the finance director position. We haven't had much activity on the accounting fund position. But we hope to have somebody on board as soon as we can, because the interim finance director will leave May the 3rd. And right now, she would leave prematurely, that we would be in the lower further. On the utility billing, we're in the process of catching up on the utility deposit refunds. The utility billing staff still doesn't have the workday time to address about 800 emails that are caught up. We've had a couple of council members generously donating their time to help us make those phone calls to see how we can help folks, and we very much appreciate that. We are using about an hour and a half a day overtime to close out the daily deposits. We're working with a modified schedule to shut it down from about 1 to 2 so that it gives folks a little bit of breathing time and at least an hour to catch up. Something that actually came to our attention by a resident that happens to work in a similar capacity in the utility building, and what she brought to my attention was that in her case, a check that was deposited in, a check that was cleared by the city was never deposited by the city. So that in of itself are the things that take the finance director some time to do. So what we understand is that while the credit was made on the account is correct, the banks still have our money. So something happened with that entire batch, at least for that month, that that did bring the money over. So this happened in December, as best I can tell. Has it happened in another month? I don't know, but again, these are the kinds of things that as they come to my attention, it takes time to investigate it. The only person that has the capability is police. No out is our finance director, so that is why I made some slow down on the audit readiness. The disconnections, we were scheduled to do that last week. We slow walked it intentionally, and I want to credit Mr. Armando here. We had initially a list of about 300 disconnections, and he whittled it down to about 100, and that was as a result of weeding out errors or accounts where they had not been properly closed. Another thing that we discovered, and this is from a council member that asked me, why are some zero account balances still getting a disconnect? What we learned is that, and I first saw this on an apartment complex, and by deduction, this is what we figured out, is that in some cases, the old accounts were never closed out. So if you moved into a new residence, you inherited the previous person's bill. And if it wasn't paid off, even though your bill was zero, you got a disconnect notice. And so that didn't make sense to us last month. This month, Mr. Armando, Mr. Marquez was able to go through, like I said, about 300 accounts for the entire day, then some, to clean it up, which meant that we had only about 100 disconnects, all attributable to and credit to him as to what he did. And so that meant a lot less folks were experiencing the week. We still are seeing people that have not paid in some cases a year, or they made half of their payments in the last year or so. So this is an issue going back at least a year. For folks that have an exceptionally high utility bill, we try to work out some kind of payment arrangement so that we can at least start collecting some revenue for the city. So we work with the committee and everybody that comes in to talk to us. When we do adjustments in case there's errors, one of those such errors that came to my attention, I think last week, and that is sometime in March, certain accounts, and we can't explain it, certain accounts are incurring an additional sewer charge. So those must be manually adjusted. So when we make those kinds of adjustments, or there's other issues where there's a clerical issue, whether it be in-house or meter read issue, that we do an adjustment, and it requires 2 levels of approval. Myself and the interim finance director look at that, as well as the as well as the one building clerk. So there's like 3 sets of eyes that look at each and every adjustment, and we sign off on it. So we're held accountable for those adjustments. Sanitation accounts. Again, this is something I just found out about a week or so ago. In some cases, folks were discharged for the wrong kind of device, whether it's in some cases, commercial accounts was being charged for a residential account. So again, in most cases, the city was being shortchanged by not collecting the revenue that's attributable to commercial accounts. So that too is a manual process that comes to our attention as we try to spend some time auditing those accounts. But this is very, very time intensive. The credit card, as we mentioned to council, both the interim finance director and I felt that the best practices is to use the credit card instead of the debit card. The debit card actually exposes the entire account to fraud. If the card was to be lost, and within the spirit of council authorization, we did city manager on the part of the credit card in the amount of $1,000 credit card versus a debit card. We did submit the grant, CDBG grant that was brought to our attention on Friday at 6 o'clock. We submitted it Monday with all the documents that were required. There's a misunderstanding about a document that was not submitted, but it has been submitted, and we will submit it again. Again, the interim finance director is scheduled to leave the first week of May. We hope to get as much knowledge from her, and she's been exceptionally invaluable to help me do many things that we need to get done and to help answer the questions that council has had. One of the other pieces of information that's within our area of responsibility, according to the charter, is to let council know where we stand in terms of the budget. And again, this took some time to pull it together, but to date, within the last, since the start of the fiscal year, the city has expended about $250,000 on unfunded expenditures, and that is on the consultants, including the interim city manager speaking to you right now, as well as any severance pay and agreement that's anticipated, so that'll come out to about $250,000. In the meantime, the city has saved about $328,000 as a result of salary vacancies at great expense to the city staff. We have about 25% vacancies. In fact, Public Works has 50% capacity right now, with a couple of folks being out. And every area is experiencing a difficult time filling the positions because of salaries. So we're looking at using some of that balance that remains that we paid for the unfunded expenses, which was about $100,000 to help keep up salaries. The fire chief has already submitted a proposal to help give the fire department some relief so we can recruit some people. So the bottom line, we have about $250,000 of unfunded expenses associated with consultants, and that was intended, it should be a temporary fix. We saved some money as a result of keeping salaries vacant, but like I said, at great expense, everybody's doing as much as they can with limited resources, and if people get sick or they're injured, then we're even hurting much more so. So we do have about $100,000 that will hopefully allow us to beef up some salaries, and we'll discuss that with council as the need arises. And we provided a detail for council to see how we came up with the numbers. So this did take some time to pull it together, but it's our responsibility to know where we stood in terms of our budget, and we anticipated needing to do an amended budget, but we have the funds to within our salary account to absorb the unanticipated unfunded costs. And that's all I have. Council has some questions.
Bobby, I've got a question. Back to the water situation. Have we totally figured out the problem with our meter, our info, our clarification?
It's all of the above, sir. I'll say that. It's on our end where we made some clerical errors in-house that I cannot defend. I can maybe explain it to you, but I can't defend them. But we did have clerical errors in-house. We do experience some errors out in the field. We're trying to get all our meters updated, which would minimize the manual reads. But again, all this takes time and staff to accomplish this also. So it's going to take us a while to get there. We talked to our folks about being a little bit more diligent in doing these reads. And we hope that once we get the right staff on board, that we're a little bit more diligent about the technical, our clerical errors. The other part of it, yes, we do have some problems with it, and our chief is dedicated some time to looking at, or getting an update quote on what it would take to migrate to Code 10. And that too would take some time. It's not a catch-all fix, because I've worked with that before, so it's like changing, getting a new computer. So it would be a major shift. We have to send our staff to training in another location. I think we spent 2 days, one for the field staff and one for the office staff. We have made an offer to Info to see if we can come do some training, and we haven't heard back. But in the meantime, almost every couple of days, we have some Info issues. This is no system. There's only, to the best of our knowledge, about 3 cities in the county that use Info 9 right now. So we do need a fixer.
What? I know we're short staffed. I know it's not going to be there right now. But how often do we go and read the meters? So we know the truth. And they can be careful to write that number down too. You know.
I think we're reading, what, about 10% of them? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, about 10%. And in another location, that was my experience, but we still had about 10% that we need to change over. So we need to get, again, take the time to transition the rest of our meters. I think we have them on board already. If we not, we need more.
I had switched out, I think it was a little over 100 meters a while back, and I'm still working on, Encode, learning how to switch them out properly in the system so they track properly, but I still have about a couple hundred meters that I need to switch out. It's just a lengthy process. It takes about a month to order them, get them in, and get them all switched out. It takes another bit of time, so.
It should improve our situation, sir, but like, Mr. Marquez is saying, if there is a lag time, you're getting at least a month or so. But that should improve a piece of that.
Thank you.
Regarding the sanitation accounts, do we know when this happened as far as, you know, the commercial accounts being billed as residential? How did it happen and when did it happen and when can we look at?
Again, I don't know the extent of the problem, council member. The one account I did see went back at least a year, so they've been occurring a year ago. Again, we try to be diligent about all our work, and with the folks that we have now, we have that set of eyes that's looking at everything, and that's how they came to our attention. This has been going on at least a year in this case. So we had to explain to the charge was woefully low for at least a year. So we're not going to backtrack, we're going to try to move forward. It was a mistake we thought.
Go ahead.
I just want to make sure that all disconnect notices have gone out on the door. Because I do have to say, I did get some phone calls about those, and they were very happy that, you know, their water did get disconnected, but more so they got a notice so they would know to do something about it. So I just want to make sure that all we're covered on all that. All of them we've gone out and know that they could be disconnected.
Yes, sir. You know, every cycle, we're learning something new. The first cycle, when we found out about 10 days later that the disconnect notices did not go out, and so in fairness to the residents, we waived all the disconnect fees for that, because we felt it was trying to do everything to do. Now, if they were multiple months in arrears, then we charged them delinquent fees for receiving funds, but because the notice that was intended to go out, and we told council it had gone out, we did find out about 10 days later, without any note saying, oops, it didn't go out. This last cycle, we tried something different. Our cutoff date was still last Wednesday, but we slow walked that, partly because we were really short-staffed, people, hurrying people that were not going off ladders and the like. So we slow walked it, and we did drop off the notices. Well, he cleaned up the list, Monday and Tuesday, from 300 down to about 100. And then we talked about putting that notice that you referenced today and asking people to come on today, yesterday, and then we did not start the cutoffs until today. That way, we're giving everybody a little bit of lag time, a grace period, eventually a week, and then at some point we'll need to start backing that back up to the original date when people get used to it. Again, as council knows, we have been doing disconnects for over 9 months. So it's difficult for some of our customers when they forget that there's going to be a water bill and folks come in and say, you know, I have a $500 bill, and they have been paying, in some cases, a year, or lady we were talking to over $800, she was paying like every other month or so. So it's a catch-up. But we're trying to work with every single person.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention though that it was highly regarded. The people that I spoke with were very happy that they had gotten a notice before it just got cut off, because it's literally, you know, unlike the last time.
We're going to try to do that going forward.
Okay, I would appreciate that. Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, so I have some questions. In this finance report, so for example, well, actually, so we had received information that I'm a little concerned about. So we're saying that you're stating that the interim finance director was contracted just to prepare for the audit. I don't think nobody up here would think that that person, that's all that they would have been contracted to do, just the audit. Where is that in the contract? Have you saw that contract?
I haven't seen the contract. I think that was the understanding she had with the predecessor. The person that hired her, that was the understanding that they had. I don't think we have contract with any of these. I haven't seen any contract. No.
We still have 2 finance directors.
have been requested via the PDC checklist, and I have not had time to even open the list. So that means that the audit schedule list has not even been, no paperwork or anything has been done. That's what I'm reading in the email that was sent today, this morning at 9:01 a.m.
She made some progress today, so she'll have things done tomorrow.
Okay. So,
She's trying to stay one step ahead of the auditor, so she's got what they would need for day one, day two.
okay, I'm just,
She'll build up. She's doing the best she can.
no, no,
All
so-
this data that she had, you wouldn't have it if not for her.
what I'm saying is, we were told in January that the audit was being worked on. Then we went to, the audit was being worked on, we got a report that said the audit preparation was started March. The audit process, because I called the auditor, as all of you know, I called the auditor to get some feedback. And they sent some forms over on March 22nd, and there was no response. The forms didn't come back, but also too, just reading this, as now all of a sudden on Monday, the audit now is gonna officially start. I'm just saying, the thing that I have a problem with is, last council meeting, we were handed, and it was put in the packet, in the council packet, information that was, at the bottom says reviewed, prepared, and reviewed and approved also. If the information is not correct, it should not be going out to the public or even the council. Because a lot of this stuff we still do not really understand or know. We were told that there was external grant writers. We all know that wasn't true. There's different things. The CBDG grant issue that happened. That's why I had to share the emails with that. So I would just hope moving forward, and I know that she's, like you said, she will be leaving May 3rd, departing, and I know the other financial consultant's gonna be departing. Is there a contract for the new accounts payable part?
No.
So
Like
do
I
they
said,
hire from the
remember,
agency?
they're switching out. One already left and the other thing is replaced, her.
Okay, but this new gentleman, he just came in from the email I saw earlier, must have been last week. So is there a contract for that? Did he come from an agency?
Same agency.
Okay,
They just switched out because they knew, the accountant was leaving, they accepted the job offer. But everything is correct. I wasn't here in January, I wasn't here in February, so I can't speak to what was done. But what we tried to convey to the council is that this is like readying a house, readying a house to sell. If the roof is leaking, the plumbing and it's not working, electrical is not, so you cannot sell the house. What the consultant said, what I understand, and I tend to believe because I've been in situations before, what the consultants were saying back in late fall and probably January, December, was that our records were not ready to be audited. And so one of the things that I know took a long time was reconciling the August bank reconciliation, and that took an extraordinary amount of time. And I think at one time we mentioned we had to talk to Encode to I had to authorize an additional expense for consultancy. So the bank reconciliation was exceptionally difficult. That's why we lost the consultants in the fall, because it was too hard to do, and they felt that there would be integrity issues if they tried to fix it. So when these new group of folks came on board, they've been trying to ready. So yes, everything that we've been showing the council, that's part of the audit process. So again, I can't speak to January or February what was said, but everything, a lot of what they're doing is ready, getting the house ready.
Well, the January comment was my comment. That actually is a comment that you stated yourself. So that's why I wanted to clarify. Councilor Molina?
I have a question. We have this unfunded positions. Have the city manager positions as unfunded. We have a budget for a city manager. So if we had a budget for that, how can we, maybe it wasn't this much or something, but you know, I think this needs to be looked a little bit closer.
The way she separated it out is the consultants, she separated it out as unfunded. And, the contract, we did have a city manager, that came out of the, budget that we set aside for the city manager. So that's where the 328 comes from. That's the salary savings from the time we did not have a city manager, on full time, or other positions for that matter. But she broke it out into two categories, unfunded and funded. So anytime a consultant was on board, that's part of the unfunded, that was not within the budget.
Okay, and then the budget vacancy, that's where this 328 comes in?
That's across the entire organization, yes, sir.
So then, then basically, an overage there, it says here.
About 104.
100.
Right, and that's what we should have as what we call salary line to take care of bringing on new people with a little bit higher salary, trying to address the fire department salary issues. So that's a cushion that we, unfortunately, that we have because we had 25% of our position vacant. But if not for that 328, then we have to be asking council for a budget adjustment for the consultant.
So then we're really not in the red here, it's actually.
But we weren't sure until we ran the numbers. I was very concerned that the councilman I talked to, I anticipated these numbers here, $250,000, based upon what we were paying. But I didn't know that for sure until we ran the numbers. I don't think anybody was officially contracted. My predecessors contracted out with a consulting agency, just like the city did for the interim city managers. So I have not seen a contract.
I just wanted to make sure, because it almost sounded like we were in the whole area a little bit, we went on. It actually is, it's the opposite here. Okay.
Not an ideal way to get there, but we got there because of the salary, because of 25% salary.
I'd just like to make a comment on that. Are we please, or
I'm sorry, sir?
I said, please, or are you trying to find somebody, because these salaries, these contracts.
Sir, I hear you.
They're killing us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I was making phone calls today. I have a stack of applications and time commits. I make phone calls, and it's difficult. In the case of the municipal court, I talked to two ladies, and they just were not willing to come here. They just felt that their certification would be addressed given the magnitude of what they understood the problem to be. I will say this, I found someone to contract for the data municipal court, someone that the judge recommended, and speaks very highly of it, and I had a very good conversation with her. So she's going to come in today at the court for the full day and help with doing it. We'll take care of those citations that we haven't been able to address.
Who's going to prepare all that information?
She is. She's going to come in the morning and do the best she can to get ready for court at 1 o'clock. So I agreed to bring her in here for the full day. And if I can get her some other time, we'll do that. And then there's a consultant, I'll just let council know, there's a consultant referred me to another consultant, and I'm still waiting to call on to use as a trainer, because that's exactly what she does, or to use her to come help us out and sort out our situation over here. So there's a couple of folks I've been talking about, I'm talking to, excuse me, we don't do this before because we're hurrying there. And we may have to, let council know, we may have to pay a little bit more. The lady we had in mind, she insisted she needed to pay a little bit more than $20 that, look at that. But the other issue is, the circumstances that we have to decide to be
So with the court fees, I had someone ask me, they had a concern, well, they paid because since we don't have anyone there to take the money, they paid their fee online, so it's like the $2 surcharge for using the credit card, but also there's also an extra surcharge. For example, so the person would pay like $480, they'll have to pay like an extra $20 is tacked on, plus the $250. And I want to know, is there any way that fee can be suspended since we don't have anyone? Because
no, man. I mean, that's a fee we pay to the credit card company. here at the window, they pay $5% surcharge, right, on all credit card payments. So this is a fee that we're assessed by the credit card company. It's not something we're making money off of. So, pass-through. I mean, I don't know all the details, but I know in case of, on the utility side, it's a pass-through. That's what we charge by the credit card company.
So no, I know there's a $250 credit card fee, but you're saying with the water billing, there's another fee? Normally when you pay with a credit card, there's the, I mean, you know, the water, I thought there's a $250 fee, and there should be another fee, but
But they pay with the credit card here?
Any terminal you use here at City Hall is at 5%.
it's a 5% fee. So if you go online and pay it, is it a 5% fee and a $250 fee also?
I'm not familiar.
What I've experienced is there's only a $2.50 fee when you pay over the phone, because that's how I've been paying it. You know, and they'll tell you right away, it's like, okay, there is a charge for paying, you know, with, over the phone with your debit card, and it's like $2.
But as the mayor was saying, if they had a $400 fine, and this is 5%, that's $20.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm saying the reason why I'm saying, like, there's people who's already struggling to pay their fines, and they're actually trying to pay their fines, and they come up here, and like they said, they saw, at the time it actually was open, but they went to the counter and they were like, no, you know, on the window it states, you know, you have to pay online, but that extra $20 for them.
But they can come on board, which is what the judge is saying, because somebody wanted to, well, you know, it was a complicated issue, but the judge said they need to come to court. They need to come on the 17th at 1 o'clock. We were trying to help them out with this.
I mean, that is, what I'm saying is, so is that put out to the public? Because people are still going online to pay their bills, and they're gonna have that extra fee. I'm saying that there's majority of citizens, people, I mean, just people live paycheck to paychecks. So, for example, you know, they're trying to do the right thing, and then they gotta pay an extra, you know, they might not even have the extra. That's what I'm saying. Is that put out to the public?
Put out to the public.
Okay, go ahead.
What was the issue that we're having with cash? I want to go back to that. Because, yeah, that's more of, I think, what she's trying
We're
to say.
taking cash payments, right?
Are we taking cash payments?
For water.
But
Water, not for. Have we
Yes,
ever
it's
taken
good.
cash
As David
payments?
said, we'll come to the court, because we don't have somebody that can access our terminal.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. In the meantime, right now, since our report, that they're having to pay that, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm asking,
Yeah,
if anything been posted, saying, hey, you can wait till the 17th. We don't have anything posted like that.
We have what's on the window posted.
Purchases 5%.
It says, pay your bill, go online and pay your bill. Right, that's what it says?
Utility bill.
No, it says for municipal court, that's what I believe. Can somebody go look out at the window right now for me, please?
I haven't spent so much time in the municipal court part, I mean,
Well, we know put something on.
I paid
On the front door.
when I pay my water, it's always.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, I know, like, it's $250 and then the extra, but that's what I'm saying, there's an extra fee.
Right.
And I'm just curious, if there's a way how that could be suspended.
I don't know if we have that authority, I don't know if it's a legal imposed fee or it's a fee within our ordinance. I don't think we would have that authority.
What does at the bottom, does it say about municipal court?
They didn't have municipal court on
At the bottom, I believe it has it on there.
The window, just take it off court window.
Where is it, on the court
The
window?
court window, it's in the window at the court.
They just said it's on the court window.
It's on court.
That's what they just said. Is it on?
Nowadays, the city charging, I think it's the bank's charging.
Well, see, I'm not sure, but I'm just
But the
saying
problem
that.
is if you can't pay in cash, you know, and you have it, then you
I can see that my wife paid $250 credit card, but
And for somebody that, yeah, for somebody who's barely trying to, so that's why I'm asking if we don't have a court clerk, it's not their fault. Can they, you know, is this gonna make any sense? It's not the citizens' fault. Is there a way, some way, that's what I'm saying, is there some way we can do that? Because, I mean, it does, that's my whole point of the whole situation. I'm just saying, I didn't, until they brought that to my attention, I was like, I had no idea. I knew the 250 one, but I didn't think about the other one. And can you imagine how many people that's adding up?
It actually, I mean, the same type of thing happened with
I'll do it, that's the old.
my property tax, and that one was like hundreds.
Yeah. Yes.
So we have two, which one do you want?
The one about, what does it say about municipal court?
Just the bottom portion?
About, you have to be paying online?
Payments can be made on website via the City of Kirby payment portal. Additionally, please monitor our website. And it gives the website for municipal court for any court updates and then the office hours.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying, is that the person said they looked on the window and they said they were shocked by the extra $20, you know, and of course they went on and paid it. Yes. Okay. And with the auditor, so when I did speak with the auditor, she was stating to me that, for example, the ARPA is already, the bond, that has already been completed. The audit for the bond has already been completed for this year. As soon as the city audit is completed, then what they do is, she said she will do as a courtesy, she forwards the, lets know the firm that does the bond audit for us, that's, and they'll re-update that. And then she said the ARPA, I said, what about the ARPA? And she said the ARPA will be done at the same time this audit is being done right now also. Just to get some clarity on the situation with the audit. Okay, anybody have any other questions? And I will just say again, in the future, please, if we're gonna put stuff out and it actually says approved or reviewed by, it needs to be actually correct information. Because there's some mention in there about our financial consultants previously before, and the statements are not factual. Moving on to 8C, discussion update on police department.
Good afternoon, council. As of right this time, we still have 12 officers full-time, and I have one applicant in processing. The stats have been already posted on the Facebook page. Total cost for service for the police department for the month of March is $585, and the total incident reports that were completed is 263. I also wanted to update you guys that I have been working on the 4th of July event, which is set to occur on June 29th. It is in progress. The sponsors and HEB was notified in January, and we're awaiting responses still to this time, no update. And that's it.
I just got a question. Your vendor spots, is it limited to full, or is it unlimited?
It's unlimited this year. I want it to be as big as possible for the city of Kirby.
Because I'll get 2 different stories and then people asking about it.
Okay.
And I tell them, don't talk to you.
I'm gonna repost all the vendors, all the vendor flyers that we had posted, we had posted in January, and I'll update that flyer so that people know that there's no limits. The only limits there is that we're trying to restrict people selling the same items, so that way everyone can have their own opportunity to sell what they're selling or what they're bringing.
Earlier I mentioned Chief Pilburn, but it wasn't Pilburn, it was your department. Bear 911 stated that the dispatch is getting a whole new system.
That's what they're talking about. Now, I haven't been updated as to when that's going to occur, but they've been giving us items for a long time. They do grants, and we have applied for them. We've gotten new chairs, we've gotten new maybe keyboards and things like that, but they're actually looking at replacing all of our consoles. The furniture. All up to date.
All up to date at no cost. So I just wanted to throw that out there because that was the thing that he mentioned that he had went to visit Chris.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? Thank you. Next we have discussion, D8E, discussion and update on public works.
Evening, council. I haven't had time to prepare much of an update for you. I wasn't here last week. Coming in Monday to get the ground running, so I spent a lot of my time this week on assisting City Hall with the vacant positions in the water utilities department. And we also had a couple of employee injuries, unfortunately. They are doing okay. They'll be returning to work shortly on light duty. So of course that.
So Cardano is the police chief, the chief bitch, the ones who illegally arrested Jack. I do not know who the nice lady with the sign who just came in, but she has a very nice sign.
Of course, the trash can get there, the trash trucks, so they're allowed to drop off at Public Works. And we do have to have 2 employees there, one at the gate, one in the back, just to monitor things. So that pretty much ties up most of our staff. So for this week, it's a little bit of a snail's pace as far as work goes, but getting things up. That's all I have.
You just mentioned about the pickup at your shop. What day is that, or is that just going on? When is that going on?
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so it started each.
Oh, did we post that? Nobody, okay. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
So tomorrow's
Tomorrow's the last day. Okay. What?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I didn't understand.
He's saying that there's pickup, that they were asking how much weight was that about pickup, drop off at like Public Works. They had a drop off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I asked was it posted up, and they said no, so nobody knew.
It's just for the residents on Ackerman,
Right. Oh, just on Ackerman?
Yeah, just the residents on Ackerman.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay.
I mean, I construction, they can't pick up.
Yeah, I didn't see very many posts about it, but I did, I don't know how, I got word of it, something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, maybe I got it today, so.
We sent something somewhere.
Yeah, so I think it was somewhere in the management posted it, I saw it. Somebody's asking.
Yeah.
Do you know what the percentage of the vote, what percentage is done?
That, I don't track that, the water utility clerks.
All right, thanks.
But we moved on this side of the thing, right?
Sir, yeah, we were going to talk about that later.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. And answer your question, I think that's what you're asking. Route 1 is going to extend until Friday, tomorrow. And then Route 2 won't start until Monday, run through the week. So they're picking up just so much.
Yeah, I understand this problem, but the zones, are they just running behind in the zones?
Yes. We had a really crude map and we never got we were gonna try to post the map and show the areas that were delayed, but the map we got couldn't have been posted, it was really crude, and I don't think we got an update.
We need to put it out there because some people think they got forgotten about
We
whatever.
posted on,
Chief Cardona, can you step up for a minute?
on our website.
I know about you were doing the stuff for the bulk and brush pickup. Can you give us an update on where we are now with Republic?
So, Republicans advised us that as of Section 1 is running behind. Section 1 is everything to the south of Ben Zingelman, and they're expecting completion until on Friday. We have extended Section 2 until Friday of next week on the 19th. So they're expecting to start above north Bill Zingelman on Monday. And that's the last thing, and I'll make sure to stay on them, so that way we get properly updated, because we weren't updated before. That I'm aware of.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking, is we keep public notified, because they're thinking they will bypass, they're yelling, they didn't pick me up.
Right, and we had no idea, so that's when the questions started rolling.
They updated all our website, Facebook, the day they came in and told us they were running late. So I think they did all the updates.
Go ahead.
How are they determining the 5 square yards? Is it like one, because I saw it the other day, it was like a gravel road. Yeah, so how are they really making that determination?
That's why I put it in a kind of like a photograph that looks like 5 cubic. And it's a little hard to do that when you're not in 3D. It's kind of a 2D picture. So I did the best I could with that. But it is hard to measure. Obviously, other people were posting as well that were saying like, hey, this is 10. you know, and the person's standing right there. So right now, people are showing to have more than 10 in just their yard alone.
So in other words, we don't know, it's just,
Well,
we're just assuming though it's probably one big route.
in the past, if there was excessive amount, the public would charge them.
Yeah,
And, you know, they make the decision, they got nothing to do with us.
Okay.
But the fact that some folks are putting out more is what slowed it.
I understand, yeah, it's just, you know, in the realm of trying to clean up Kirby, I mean, it's just, it's a great day, I
But
just.
it's not picked up.
Yeah, and, you know, and as Ms. Boyd stated, you know, the last time we were told so late that we put things out or whatever, took some time. So, I get it, that's fine. I just wanted to see, you know, how we make determinations so residents have an idea what was put out, or if they put out too much, or those things.
I don't think they're following that, you know, you've seen some of this.
Yeah.
I've seen some.
Oh, I know,
Because
that's a whole, that whole tree.
Yeah, and it was in the whole front yard, pretty much, and I saw that also. And it's being picked up,
Okay.
Moving on to 9A, discussion and possible action to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Barry County Elections Administrator for election services.
Yes, we have a contract for our elections, and we have a contract that was submitted for Midway, that was somebody who was public.
Before we can then we address the audits regarding signs, patterns and signs within our servers, and I will according to ordinance. So if we can please review that.
Excuse me, ma'am. Yes, I'm sorry, we don't allow signs in City Hall. Can you please, take your sign down? Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay, but, this is a contract template that was sent to us from the county, so we're asking for authorization to enter into a contract with the county for the election services for, May. This is their template, I think.
I do not know, but I've seen those type of agreements with cities and they usually those.
But did you guys review it though?
I did not review it, or I did not consider something review.
Okay, I think we did say, yes.
And they came back, they actually reviewed it, it's been reviewed. Okay, before I sign anything or anybody signs anything, we need to make sure it's reviewed. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Mayor, I'm going to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Bear County Election Administrator for election services.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Barry County Election Administrator for election services. First by Councilmember Martin, second by Councilmember Garza. Please call roll.
Councilmember Good?
yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano? Yes. Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis? Yes. Mayor Gurke?
Yes. Okay, passes. Next, we're moving on to 9B, discussion and possible action regarding a resolution authorizing the city manager to submit an application for funding for the Bear County Community Block Grant Program Year 2024 allocation of Bear County CDBG program.
Mayor, council members, when the council first gave the city manager the authorization to pursue this grant, at that time, we were not aware there was a resolution that was required. So although council approved us to pursue this grant, they later submitted a formal resolution, actually a template that we required, the council required to adopt, and that is part of this document that we can submit. Actually, we have it for the end of next week, so we submitted other entities on the same situation, but they don't have a resolution. They did the application was submitted, so it was just embedded in the application document. So this is just a formality to affirm the submission of the CDBG grant application.
formality, we already approved this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well then I make a motion that we approve, can I put a number in it? Do it. We approve resolution,
Yeah, it's not,
there's no number on
Just put a number on the resolution.
it, it's just a resolution. Just BY 2024. And just use what's on the paper.
We can put it on that's their template. We did the plugin for mine.
Okay, so I make a motion that we approve the resolution authorizing the city manager to submit the application for the Bear County Community Block Grant Program Year 2024 allocation of Bear County CDBG program.
Second.
have a motion on the table to accept the resolution authorizing the city manager to submit an application for funding for the Bear County Community Block Grant Program Year 2024 allocation of Bear County CDBG program. First by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Councilmember Molina. Please call roll.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Hicks?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis?
Yes.
Mayor Gardner?
Yes. Passes. Moving on to 9C, discussion of possible action authorizing city manager and interim finance director as signature authority for the city of Kirby for the Bear County Community Block Grant Program 2024 allocation of Bear County CDBG program.
Mayor and council members, again, this is a formality, the type of the grant, this is a required document that was submitted embedded in the application that we're required to submit, given to administrators, the city, signature authority, actually, the grant, and submit, grant funds, just a little documentation, and county will be done to those funds whenever, the money's released to the city.
Good.
Okay, I mean, that's good, right? Because, I mean, we get it. But what do we do about the interim status of the finance director if she ends up, not being here? Do we
Well,
just change it over? Or do we
That is
rescind it?
yes. Whoever takes over that role,
Right.
transition over.
Okay.
The authority will transition to that new person.
I just want to make sure that there's no additional paperwork or anything like that, and they're just to make that.
We do, we'll be back to council for that.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, Mayor, make a motion that we authorize city manager and interim finance director signature authority for the city of Kirby Bear County Community Block Grant Program Year 2024 allocation of Bear County CBDG program.
Second. Okay, we have a motion on the table authorizing the city manager and interim finance director as signature authority for the city of Kirby for the Bear County Community Block Grant Program Year 2024 allocation of Bear County CBDG program. First by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca. Please call roll.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Hicks?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis?
Yes.
Mayor Gardner?
Yes. Okay, passes. Okay, moving on to 9B, discussion of possible action on change order number 5, city council.
Now we're at your voice. We were told, I think Monday or so, and I think we sent something to council Monday when we were trying to get the documentation from, B&B, thank you. That they were not ready with the change order information. And specifically, I did have a talk with Mr. Bain, I think the week before.
You really stick it in there, Charles.
That asked for documentation related to what was in the original contract for the mailboxes, which I suspect was that same 550 that we're asking for.
I'm just sticking this whole thing out. I'm the only one left. Just in case something happens.
Mailboxes and install. I also asked them what are other cities being charged for the mailboxes. So we checked on, I think, Friday, Monday, they find those not ready to go.
D, E, and F?
Not
Right,
ready to
okay.
change.
All right.
We don't have anything else.
Okay.
We specifically asked
we have to move the table this?
This keeps changing, so we.
I'm sorry, that's why we're getting
It's
into
gonna
that.
change, so.
Okay, would, like in this situation, since again, we don't know when they would want to bring these changeovers to us, we can't say, well, next week, it's not here, they haven't stated that. Can we, basically take it off the agenda or like mark it out, and then when they're ready, they can bring up the
They
change?
were, we assumed that it was gonna be on, because that's what we were told, and I told them in the hallway. But as a Friday, we didn't get anything, Monday after, we went in, posted, hoping, other times we come in later. So we were hoping to come in later after Monday and Tuesday. Finally, the word went out.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, how would we go about basically just making it for future agenda for that instead of next one?
Just take no action.
On any of them? And do we have to state we're taking no action?
Yes, and I think the reasons already been stated for the record, but just take no action. That way they don't automatically go on the next agenda item. Okay, you're supposed to on.
No, I'm saying just no action, and if they want to bring it back, they can bring it back.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no action for 9D, E, and F. Okay. All right, so now we're moving on to 9G, discussion and possible action authorizing the interim city manager to issue request for qualifications RFQ for city attorney.
So I did a little research on some of the things that we've done here in the past. I mean, I have openly asked for records requests on the attorneys, and I've tried to understand, why it's costing us so much. Back in the day, Liz Ballard used to say that she didn't do anything we didn't ask her for. But I mean, there were some times where, some things didn't quite seem as kosher as they might have been. So just gonna go through some billing stuff, and I honestly believe that we should really take the idea into account that we could, for what we're paying, Rampage, we could actually hire our own attorney who could do just for us. He could probably even take over the prosecution part of our court. Perhaps you could, it would just be a lot more efficient, I think, in that matter. But beyond that, I have a couple
screws
things,
everything up.
So in some of these, I actually, right here, where I asked for the exact same stuff on June. Once I asked for it in redacted, and once I did ask for no redactions, right? And I mean, it just got ridiculous as far as redactions go. Now, the thing is what we know about redacting is that there's certain entities in which we can redact for certain things, whether it's like a contractual or some of those other things. But some of the things that are listed here were none of those. And I did bring this up actually to Valerie back in the day. She just stated to me that they have the best redactors and they know exactly what they're doing. But I have to say the stuff that did get redacted from my first request was all stuff that it seemed as though Rampage Law didn't necessarily want me to have access to. When I did finally ask for it in the unredacted version, it kind of made more sense. I mean, it was stuff relating to the gun ordinances, the what's going on with the senior center, those types of things, which all of us should have been privy to. I mean, we should have known what was going on there. So that's one major issue that I'm finding with that type of stuff, because I got to tell you, even for these types of redactions, I mean, it's costing us a fortune, because I mean, they're literally just going through, blacking out all kinds of stuff. I also recall Mr. Martin back in the day asked for something, and he got redacted, and he literally just sold him black pages. I didn't agree with that either. There was a couple times where that was kind of bad. But we also get to this one here where we actually had it on 9/20/23. It looks like we were charged for attending a TPIA training presented by the firm. So I'm assuming that was what's it called? All horses or whatever we got, all hogs. I mean, I just don't quite understand why we were paying for travel to attend that type of stuff. I got get hired a firm, kind of took us out of doing those types of things. So among all those reasons and others that I've come to find, and I was asking for advice on whether or not we could make a motion, which is clearly part of our charter. And I was told no, that there were certain things like they couldn't make a motion when people talk, which is clearly a violation of what I'm allowed to do. It was those types of things that really gave me this feeling that we may not all be, giving the best advice from, rent-based law. So I think that we ought to go forward with getting, or putting on, having an RFQ for an attorney, preferably if we're going to keep, the cost at the, where it's at now. I mean, obviously, I think we could, hire one in-house, and I think that would be the best bet. Thank you.
I just want to say, when you were saying redactions, to clarify, you're talking about receiving information in official capacity and non-official capacity. I just want to make sure everybody understands that.
That's
We're talking about redactions would be non-official capacity, and the other one, just want to make sure everybody understands that and the public knows. Anybody else have anything? Go ahead.
So, did we get any of that information? I'm sorry, did we get any of that information in our packets as far as the fees on the attorneys? And if not, could we get copies so that we could review them and try to see as far as the costs? Because I do recall that the majority of the fees that were coming from our law firm were from these meetings, that we were going into 6-7 hour meetings, and $200 or whatever, $300 it is, that adds up, $1,500, $2,000, whatnot. And so, that's what I would like to see, is to how much of that comes from these meetings versus, other work that they do for us. So, that's what I would like, before making any decisions.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Councilman Art.
I'd like for our city manager to look into it and possibly bring on board an attorney for the city. See what the cost effectiveness is. I mean, that's what we're asking him. Reach out for him. And the longer we put this off, the more money it's costing us.
The RFQ would do just that. In another role, that's the same RFQ I've used, and we did get sole practitioners that, we did get responses from sole practitioners as well as officers. Right now, the last time I checked was we had paid almost $100,000, but that was last month. But if we're not providing counsel the detailed invoices, we can. I mean, I used to do that in another role, and then the fees are going to go up May 1st. I think we provided that counsel. I think not.
Well, like he said, the fees are gonna go up May 1st. Put feelers out there, see if you have permission, put feelers out there so we can find.
What I was looking at in another place was like, along the lines of what the councilman mentioned, we were hiring her that he or she could help us with permits and other issues that come up on a day-to-day basis where we need to talk to somebody quickly. And I can just run down the hall. What I used to do is run down the hall and talk to somebody here. If they can help us in other respects, permitting issues, zoning issues, and other questions that come across our desk that sometimes we need.
Yeah, it's all gonna come back to us anyway for approval, no matter what.
Right. This is just to go out for RFQs, and then we evaluate them, bring our recommendations to the council, and the council can interview one or two firms, or three, whatever, but generally no more than a couple, and make a decision from there. Or make no change, and then the law firm can also submit a proposal as well.
Yeah, I think he did this when I saw the rate change. Mayor, come to the motion.
You can make a motion.
Mayor, I'd like to authorize the city manager to issue a request for qualifications for a city attorney.
Second.
Have a motion to authorize the interim city manager to issue a request for qualifications for city attorney. First by Councilmember Martin, seconded by Councilmember Garza. Please call roll.
Councilmember Molina,
No.
Councilmember Lozano,
No.
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis?
No.
Mayor Garber?
Yes. So we didn't pass, so, okay. Moving on to H, discussion and possible action on adopting the ordinance amending Code of Ordinance Title 3, Administration, Article 1, Sections 30.04, 30.07, and 30.10, Agenda, Meetings regarding decorum and debate, citizen participation, and Section 30.11 related to carrying of firearms on city-owned premises.
Mayor and Council, I believe the copy that was included in your council packet was the changes that the police chief captured, and then yesterday or today, I believe, we emailed you the attorney's capture of those changes. So, I think that was yesterday or today.
I think I was out of town yesterday, but I sent them over today with the changes noted from the last council meeting.
And you may have included a copy as part of the report, but I believe you
The council's petitions are bolded and underlined.
The one before the law. I just put that together.
Yeah, I think we received it like 4 o'clock or whatever. But I did go over the one that I did receive with my council packet. It had green.
Does everybody else has it? The one that's the current one? I just want to make sure, because I will make copies, so we can all go over it together. Okay, I just want to make sure.
I got one that I got, I was giving it.
Yep. No,
No, that's what I'm saying, he sent one.
yeah, he sent one, like, it was like at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I'm
that was in the latest one.
That's the one, we printed this one out. Okay, I'm gonna go make copies of this one. Y'all sit tight.
It's plain except with the changes.
Sounds like they're gonna do something unconstitutional on the Second Amendment here. Try to ban guns in the city hall or something fun.
Because it was a lot harder to read when we were As a matter of fact, I'm kind of looking at this one that they sent us or whatever, and I will say, like, it was stated kind of that, I guess the stuff was, in the email, it stated the stuff that was changed, bolded, and strike through, right? If it was
Yes.
changed and added, it was bolded, if it was taken out, it was strike through.
That is correct.
I mean, you know, again, I find it kind of odd that the one that I received actually from, with my packet, actually includes a lot more of the bolding than, what I have here. So I don't quite understand how, like this portion right here, just basically fell out of being bold. How did that happen?
I worked off a clean copy that I received from, Caitlin from the last meeting. And so with that, that's why I added because it's easier to read in a sense.
Yeah, maybe easier to read because it's bigger, but it's definitely not easier to read with the changes, because I will say, like, for instance, on this first one, that's 3.04, it starts, like, the changes with the mayor of the city. And then if you look at the one, 3.04, and the one that we were provided by the lawyer, it starts at, it is the intention. So, I mean, And you go up on this one and it states the mayor of the city, like up on the next sentence up, which is something that was obviously added.
Remember,
but not
guys,
folded in
the
this.
code Eric Brandt gave all of us for I need immediate evacuation is pineapple enema. That's pineapple enema.
And I've provided it.
I'll try not to scream it like a little girl if I need to.
I just have a word.
So small.
I'm just saying, if you look at the small one in the screen, and you look at this one, you can actually read the places where things have changed, but, I mean, the changes are, this one sentence, the changes here are like 3 sentences. But I mean, the one sentence that was excluded happens to be the one that's basically allowing for things to kind of happen. It was the one that I actually wrote something. So that's what I'm saying, I think, I don't think, if you got a copy, I honestly would adhere to your green copy, because it doesn't seem as though this one actually included those types of changes.
I worked off the one that the city provided to them in the last meeting.
Now, just to kind of give you guys some insight, I recommend reading copy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I'm going through it, and having to look at some of the things and stuff. Yeah, this one gave you, the idea of what's going on. This one just, this one had something stick out, and this one, see, but I mean, if you look, certain areas where they have like, not sure. Yeah, they just took it out entirely. But, it's not just that, look here on this one. On this 30.4, actually, 30.4, right here where it says, the mayor of your city. It starts here, mayor of city, but it's just pushed down, it's going to be his intention.
I do not
But
know
it's
if the
still
one
within that
he's
same-
packet is the one that y'all looked at last week. I do not know the one he's packet is the same one that was.
This would be the current one. The one in the packet is the one that was provided to us at that time by the police chief. This one, the mayor's.
I have it.
That's the.
I mean, I completely understand, but what I don't quite understand is again why some of these things that were actually within the one we got impacted are actually unhighlighted in the one that we got. Because it's still, this right here is still an addition, it was not something that was in the thing prior, chapter 30. It wasn't in here, but it's still missing, so. That's what I'm saying, I really don't.
Excuse me, ma'am, can you please remove your sign? That's actually your second warning. Can you please put it down, please? Thank you.
I didn't mean to disrespect you.
Everybody has, everybody has got it, right? Okay. Okay, Chris, sorry, Councilman Burns, so where are you at?
Okay, so, just to start on 30.04, when I was talking about the agenda, it runs down, I mean, I don't know if we had decided to do this or not, but again, it started here, there was a change last time. It said mayor or city manager have the authority not to accept agenda items that are incomplete or non-specific to discussion. And or requested, requested. And then they added this, it's intention of the city council. But if you look at when we got with the green, it also has that, but it just stated the whole thing. Now, the one thing on this one that I was kind of, not for is basically having the mayor as the manager of the authority have to accept the agenda items. Particularly because the two council members requested, as is stated higher on here, you know, it need to get on there. So like this one is primarily in conflict. See where I'm at?
What I want to know is which one they're presenting to us to use.
See, that's the thing, like, is again, if you look at this one,
I know.
yeah, but I mean, when you look at this one, some of the words aren't bolded in this one, that are bolded in this one. So it was actually added, but it wasn't bolded, so that's what I'm saying, what he gave you, doesn't have it bolded. So if you look where they have the strike throughs, and you go like 2 sentences up, it's right there. And if you have the green copy, it actually shows it.
And the change that you wanted to do for reflect to say what?
I just want to make sure that the mayor, the city manager, like where it says it has the authority not to accept agenda items. I just want to remove because of the way it works out, so council members can have an agenda item and it's in direct conflict with what it says earlier. It's more about city
I
council
don't believe that
members.
was a change from last week, that was, it stayed, that language stayed there unless you're requesting an additional change. That was in the last draft that the council reviewed. And the man, it's a clean copy with the bolding is the additions and the deletions are crossed out. So there weren't very many, so that's what it references. It took out the.
It's still in there though. See, understand that the green copy we have right here is changed. This last week, when they gave us this one, that was what was added. Okay? So the one that you sent us here, it actually has an bold and strike through, right? Which is just this, like you basically undid the whole thing, and then you just added the small changes to that whole piece. I mean, my idea on this, and I would have to look through my one from last week or whatever, but I mean, I don't think I would have approved that to begin with. So that's the reason why I'm saying, I just, like I tell you, if you have your green copy, I think that's your better copy. So really just remove that piece, that's all I'm asking. You know, if that or add it to council members or something, you know? Because it's really just saying there's an opportunity for, you know, for the mayor or the city manager to not accept agenda items.
And I didn't have in my notes that that was a request by the council to take that out. So it was left as is. You can check, I guess, the minutes to be checked for last week, but I did not have that as a change directive from council.
So the way I had remembered it was that it was the same, the mayor, city manager have authority to not accept items that are incomplete, meaning, you know, because we have to provide documentation, and the research, or supporting documents. So we had left that. I think the change was that, Mr. Garza had requested that we take out appropriately the research presented and just add provided with all supporting documents, the way it was written. But it was, the other part, the first, that sentence where it says the mayor is the manager, that wasn't discussed. It was just a part of the knowledge.
Ma'am, okay, that's your third warning, I'm sorry, you keep doing it. I mean, you keep
What
on
happens?
the sign,
What happens
you
then?
keep on, can you put
What-
the stay?
Would you like it?
Yeah, I would like you to stay. Oh, you like, I like the sign? You know what, hand me the sign, chief, or, sergeant. I'll take the sign, and would you like to stay though? Yeah, okay, all right.
The one on the back, where you don't. Thank you so much.
Can I have the sign?
Oh, please.
It's okay, I'll put it right here, next to you. Just don't be quiet, that's all. You're gonna do it? You're giving the property to me, you're bending it?
I want you to have it.
Okay.
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 Yeah, I actually don't remember, now I'm kind of thinking, I remember the appropriate research, I thought that was your main thing, was like the wording of appropriate research.
I gotta say, after looking at this, or whatever, I just don't think that, I mean, even, you gotta look at it from a perspective of city manager, you know, basically telling you and anybody else, that, hey, this can't go on, I don't think that's how they're gonna be good.
That was fun.
You just say it's not specific, you know, you don't have it to believe, I mean, this could be utilized in a not so good way.
I have a question, or a comment.
Yes.
Sorry. I want everyone to know that out of 30.123, in addition to any other qualifications we made by candidate and mayor, we placed on the city council service of the city council, works to do with individual child abuse related offense, family violence offense, disapplication of pregnancy offense, and sexual related offense, and has not been part of the declared that candidate placed on the city council service seat. We voted this down September 23rd, 2021.
What page are you looking at?
Page 11. Is that constitutional? Texas election, code states who can run, and this will not supersede that.
Who put that on there?
That's exactly what I'm trying to
Okay,
say.
now,
You know what I mean?
we
Again, I brought the
discussed
paperwork
that.
that showed the repeal, and that's why I'm telling you that.
Now, the other one that, what you're talking about, I believe that one was actually supposed to be the way it was. Now, this, I don't even, you're talking about that one, I don't even remember us even talking about
Now,
that.
we did, that's what I'm saying, like, it seems as though these things are being.
Where did that come from, sir? 30.123?
30.123.
On the, you have to look at it.
Then,
This right here in the back, where did that come from? Because I don't remember us even just touching that.
You remember what we did?
I have the ordinance repeal right here.
this is the Word version I was given today at the last meeting. Now, if it wasn't, then, this part should not be in there. I just worked, all I did was change the items that the council was.
Okay, so 30.123, I know I didn't put that in there or ask for that to be put in there. so-
That's not supposed to be in there, but you take it out.
Okay, I just,
I mean, it is, it's not constitutional, but the Texas election code says, so this can't supersede. They already got voted down September 23rd, 2021.
Mayor, can I clarify?
yes, please.
That was already reviewed a long time ago, so the copy, and I don't know, I had gone through the YouTube minute by minute to ensure that all changes that was agreed upon was already completed and sent to the attorney. I don't know where the confusion happened, however, she asked me for the most recent copy, and that was given. I don't know if that's the one in the packet. Is that the one in the packet? That's the one that everyone discussed last time. Now, I also forwarded to the attorneys what I found in on each video. Where the changes occurred, what y'all agreed upon, and where there was confusion even for me, because there wasn't a full consensus. So if there's anything on there, let's focus, if we can, focus on the one that was given. If there's anything else that needs to be discussed or there's concerns, bring those up now, or we can continue forward.
I have a concern. I have a concern that things that we don't necessarily know, because I don't have my stuff from last week. I should have brought the one that, went over, because there were all the notes in it. So I'm just telling you, I know for a fact, this part wasn't in there. I know for a fact, because I got to tell you, if I had seen that, I would have, said something. So that's been my concern. I honestly, again,
Which one is that?
I think what we need to do.
Can I see, I don't even know what you guys,
I can promise you it's going down.
This right here, that was added on the end. Okay, there is no,
may I look at this? I believe what ended up happening is another ordinance got underneath there. And this is irrelevant to y'all. So let me take a look and see where this applies in our ordinance. Because this looks like it's already been adopted. This is not something that's new.
And it was also voted down.
It was voted down last time it come up. That's right. I'm trying to tell you.
You voted down where?
It voted down September 23rd, 2021.
This,
Yes, it was.
It was brought up.
y'all keep talking, I'm gonna figure this out.
Very quick, break it down.
yes, let's take a 10-minute break. All right, everybody come back at 9:24, and that clock is still wrong, by the way. Okay. 9:24.
Break time.
It doesn't show it. That's what I'm saying.
I brought that up because I saw.
There's no soap or towels in the women's bathroom. There's no soap or towels in the women's bathroom. I was just letting you know.
So y'all have a copy in your bag?
I have a clean women's bathroom.
Oh,
I'll let the,
When I asked this to copy of it was back. That's why I was questioning, voting down. And then what I'm saying is, he said, no, this is the right one. This is the one. So I'm just, I'm a little concerned now that there might be other things on there. That it's not pushed right. That's all.
No, it isn't. Yeah.
All right, guys, 10-minute break, but I'm gonna leave the live going.
I know. And that's what I was trying to say.
Actually, to make sure nothing gets scrambled, I'm gonna go ahead and kill this live and restart it as Kirby Council 2. Just to make sure we don't lose a whole stream or something if something goes screwy or it gets too long. So be down for about 15-20 seconds and I'll come back with another stream.
Correct.